Okay, here's our bell ringer for today. Go ahead and start that.
I added 3, 2, and 4.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So remember when you guys were here 2 days ago, I said that I was going to give you that how they grade it, but we didn't grade it. So I said, well, I'll just put that up. In your notebook, today's the date on the board, 20th. We're going to continue with our notes on polynomials because we're not quite done yet. So let's keep moving along with that. We're going to look at each of these expressions. We're going to determine if it is a polynomial, yes or no. We're going to state the degree. We're going to classify it as a monomial, a binomial, or a trinomial. So why don't you take a minute, and I'm going to have you
Copy
put
it.
the table down. Yeah. So let's copy the table down, and then we'll go through it. Okay, let's take a peek at the first one. Remember from 2 days ago the definition of a polynomial. Can anybody read that out of their notes? Sam?
Is it a monomial or the sum of them?
Two.
I
That's
yeah.
polynomial, but more. What did you write down before that?
Is it a number or letter or a product of a number and
And what else did you write about polynomials?
they must have positive, integer, exponent.
Excellent. All three of those you need to know. So it's got to be a number, a letter, or the product of a number and letter, and the powers have to be positive integers. Okay, so Nathan, do you think that 4y minus 5xc is polynomial? Okay, who agrees? Take a chance out. Who disagrees? Adriana, what do you say? Obviously, you think it is what?
Because it's positive integers and
Well, let's look here. Is this a number and a variable?
yes,
Powers are positive integers?
yes,
Okay, let's look here. Number and variables?
Yep.
Positive integers?
Yep.
Is it all multiplication? Here?
Yeah.
Is it all multiplication? It is. Here, all multiplication?
What about the minus sign? Would it be a
I
negative
don't
5?
think it doesn't
No.
matter.
Well, you can call it a negative 5, but I use the minus. The minus is okay.
Oh,
Tanner?
you don't need it?
Tanner?
Yes.
How many terms?
2.
Oh, so I'm going to go over there. 2 terms. I'm just going to stick this here for now. The minus sign, that sign in between, plus or minus, is going to tell you how many terms you have. If you look at each term, check each term out. Is that term a monomial?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this term a monomial?
Yes.
So then it is a polynomial. Nate, why were you thinking it wasn't? Because of that minus sign?
It's the sum of two monomials.
Okay, so that's a good point. You can have 4y plus a negative 5xc, but remember we don't like those double signs. That's why you don't see the plus sign there. They just put the minus sign. So even though it says sum, you can have that negative as well. What's the degree of our polynomial?
3.
Okay, let's look. Let's think about what we did the other day. We look at each term, correct? What's the degree here?
1.
What's the degree here?
1.
I don't think so.
2.
2, because 1 and 1 add up to,
2.
so what's the degree of the
Three.
polynomial?
2.
3.
No. No.
Okay, go back to your notes.
You asked.
Wait a minute. Go back to your notes. Go back to your notes and look at what we did 2 days ago. Go back to your notes. We did one just like this 2 days ago. Kush? What is it? Why?
Because there's a minus sign, and if there's no minus sign, so all the numbers start to get against one another.
Right. When you're looking at your polynomial, you're taking the highest degree based on your terms. That's why we're looking at each term. This term, the first term has a degree of 1, the second term has a degree of 2. Which one's bigger? The second term, so that it's a second degree. And Tanner 2 terms is called a
Binomial.
super. Let's do the next one together. Now remember, you can refer back to your notes from 2 days ago because we've looked at all these. Jonathan, question or do you want to answer? Okay, Jonathan, do you think that's polynomial? Okay, who agrees with Jonathan?
Wait, what did you say?
No. Okay. Who disagrees with Jonathan? I do. Sam, can you go back to your definition? What's a polynomial?
A monomial or the sum of monomial is a number, a letter, or a product of a number and a number.
As soon as he read his definition, you saw it as soon as you went back and read your definition. Isn't negative 6.5 a number?
Yes.
Isn't a number a polynomial?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This means that this is what you want to study in preparation for our quiz next week. Remember, think about this from your notes 2 days ago before you answer this next question. What is the degree? Don't shout it out. Don't shout it out. Raise your hand. What is the degree? Cody?
0.
Yes! 0. Very good. Remember, it's x to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Perfect. All right. Raise your hand to answer monomial, binomial, or trinomial. Fatima. You got it. Monomial. One term. Take a minute. Let me try the next row. Kenzie? Third one down. You think it's polynomial? I can't hear you.
No.
No, she says no. Who agrees with her? Mackenzie, you are correct. Why do you think it's not a polynomial?
It has a negative exponent.
It has a negative exponent. Nathan, is that why I heard O? No. 7a to the negative 3 plus 9b is not a polynomial because it has a negative exponent. So then you don't have to fill anything else in.
Oh, you don't have to say binomial?
Nope, you don't say anything. It's not a polynomial. You only continue if it's a polynomial. So go ahead and try the last one, please. Okay, let's take a peek. Joe, do you think that's a polynomial?
Yeah.
Who agrees with Joe? Hands down. Who disagrees with Joe? It's unanimous. You are correct. Very nice. Now remember, the degree can be tricky. Who would like to share what they think the degree is? Zach.
3?
Please question that. Who agrees with Zach? 3. Put your hands down. Who disagrees with Zach? Adriana, what do you think? Who agrees with Adriana? Put your hands down. Anybody have anything else? Cody.
6.
6. Who agrees with Cody? Okay, let's take a peek at this. Remember, when we have multiple terms, we're going to look at the degree of each term. What's the degree here?
3.
What's the degree here?
1.
What's the degree here?
1.
Okay, what's the degree here? 0. What's the biggest degree?
Zach?
Nice job, Zach.
I have a question.
Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, as we were going through and looking at the terms and the degree, did you notice anything?
Yeah, there's 4 terms.
There's 4 terms, but do you notice anything about some of those terms?
Yeah, you can put them together.
Which terms can you put together?
4x and x.
Beautiful. So look at this. We have, you know, these are called what?
Like
Like terms. Beautiful. So this is actually 6x cubed. What's 4x plus 1x?
5x.
5x plus 3, which, once you combine them, Tanner makes
The trinomial.
a trinomial. Trinomial. So you've got several examples there, so when you're working on your homework, go back and look at those so you make sure you understand it. Now, here's a couple things you need to write down. Polynomials have to be in standard form. So I do want you to write down standard form. The second sentence, standard form means your terms are written in order from greatest degree to least degree. This is what I want you to focus on. Standard form means greatest degree to least degree. So we're going to take this polynomial, which then has how many terms? Correct. A 4-term polynomial, and we want to put in standard form, which means, Rebecca, what do we have to do first to put in standard form?
Keep saying it. Okay, so Rebecca, which one's the highest? The power of 3, so that whole term, give me that whole term. Beautiful. So she says, okay, the power of 3 is the highest power. That comes first. Melissa, what is the next lowest power? Okay, so keep the sign with it though. Yep. So now it's going to be negative 5x squared. And remember, the sign in front of the number stays with the number. Nicole, what number is going to come next? Keep working your powers down. Are there any like terms that we can combine? Well, we can't combine any like terms because we have all different powers. So we're just going to take highest power and work our way down. Push. The 2x is going to come next. So we have 3, we have 2, we have 1, and what's going to come last, Jonathan? 0 power. So Jonathan, which one's that? Negative 7. Notice how he kept that sign, that negative sign in front. That is standard form. Put all your polynomials in standard form before you do anything with them. Now, once you have it in standard form, do you know what a coefficient is?
Yeah, we took note of it.
Good. What is a coefficient?
The
Number next to the variable.
letter.
So, Kush has it. Coefficient is the number in front of the variable. Nathan already told you we did that this year. So you gotta make sure you can remember these things. Coefficient is number in front of variables. Here's another review. The one that we're usually the most concerned with, once we put our polynomial in standard form, is the very first coefficient. It has a special name. It's called the lead coefficient. So the coefficient of the first term is called the lead coefficient. Michael, take a look at our polynomial that we put in standard form. What is the lead coefficient?
4x raised to the 3rd power.
No.
No.
Joe, why?
Because it's the number.
Yeah, just the number. You had the right term. Just the number. So our lead coefficient, and I'm okay with you abbreviating it LC for lead coefficient, is 4. Notice I did not use an equal sign. That can be misconstrued. So just put lead coefficient is 4. And just out of curiosity, in that polynomial, how many coefficients are there?
3.
What 3?
4, -5, and 2.
She's correct.
Yeah.
But Cody, were you thinking 4?
Yeah, I figured out why though.
Why?
Because -7 is in front of a variable.
Excellent. But what's -7 called?
Integer.
It's an integer, but it also has a special name.
Count.
Number.
Constant. Oh, you guys are, that was beautiful. That was perfect. So this polynomial has 3 coefficients. Remember, coefficients are only numbers in front of letters. So they are 4, -5, and 2. And you guys said it perfectly. That -7 doesn't have a letter attached to it, so it's not a coefficient. Instead, what did you say it was? A constant. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, here's 4 examples for you. Would you please write each polynomial in standard form? After you write it in standard form, state the lead coefficient. Figured I'd do it. I've been recording a lot of my lessons for when the kids are absent.
We're talking about.
Brandon's, I recorded the lesson.
Is that-
It's on that. So now what I can do here, so here's I've got A and D on the board, and B and C we went over on the whiteboard. So now what I can do is I'm going to put this lesson on my website. And then